Very good day, dear students. So, as you know me, I'm Shomadeep, your faculty for robotics. So now let us continue again with our next sessions. Okay. So let me present just a moment. So let us move on with our chapter 16 or session 16. Okay. Now, Arduino variables. Okay. Let me just switch it off. Yes. So Arduino variables. Now, till now we have studied many things regarding Arduino. Okay, and as you all know, I have already discussed with you how I am going forward with this course, basically. So, if you don't remember, let me remind you once again. So, what we are going to do, we started off with the basic introduction to robotics, all in all. Then we went to the ICs, okay, in general. Then specifically to Atmega 328, if to be specific. And then after that, we moved on to Arduino, right? The hardware or the architecture of the Arduino. Now, why I did that is because Arduino is the main thing that we are going to use in this whole course. Okay. So to build a small mini projects, to build large projects, we are basically using Arduino. So to build the project, you must be knowing the specifications of all the types of Arduino that we can use. And also because majorly what we use is basically the Nano and Uno. Okay. So these two would be the most important things for you to know. Okay. And we have also studied the types of Arduino and all right. So after knowing that, we moved into the programming session because as you know already that programming is nothing but the communication, the language that can happen between you and the machine in itself. Okay. So that is why we are studying the coding part. Now you might be wondering, sir, we are only studying the theory. Yes, we are. The reason behind that, I want you to take notes of it. Okay, take small notes of it. Don't note down the like whole thing and everything. Okay. So small snippets. I want you to note it down. Okay, note all of them down. And then what we are going to do, we are going to. If you can see, I have added many images, right? Many images I am adding. So why I'm adding those images? To give you the real time scenario, what we actually see or what actually happens. Try to understand. So what I'm doing is I'm providing you all the nitty gritties of the programming that we do in Arduino to get the results to build the projects. Okay. And also when I did the programming, what output I got, I am adding those images, those snippets into the slides itself. Okay. So in that way, what will happen? You'll get a real-time feel, you'll get a real-time scenario, what actually happens and how we can expect the output to be. If you change the variables, if you change the character of the code or the intent of the code, of course the output will be different. But if you don't change it, then how you are going to get the output is what I am showing you. I'm trying to show you by adding these code snippets. All right. So going forward, what we are going to do is basically after we go through all these the code snippets, after we learn the whole programming part, by programming part, what do I mean? How to code basically, okay, in Arduino, how to code. Okay, the nitty gritty, the like variables, the classification, the classes, okay, the pointers, all these things when we are learning after this, we'll learn how to apply these things. And by application, I mean to make mini projects. Okay. I will show you how to build them. I will show you how you can modify them. Try to understand if I make you learn project A and project B. Now it is upon you if you can combine both this project A and project B and make a new project C. Okay. What am I saying basically? If I'm using one type of sensor in one project and the other type of sensor in another project. Okay. And you at home, you combine both of them and try to make a new project. That's upon you, right? I will give you numerous ideas what you can do. Okay. Students, if you are from engineering background or technical background, you can definitely use them in your projects. Okay. It will be very, very helpful, very useful. Okay. And if you are not from the engineering background, no worries. I will teach you in such a way. I am even teaching you in such a way so that it can be a bit generalized, yet specifically related to our subject, right? Okay, so let us continue. Fine. Let us continue. Arduino variables. Okay. So the variables, what are these? These are defined as the place to store the data and value. Okay. Whenever we are declaring any data, we are using any data, we are declaring any value. So variables are the place basically where we can store it, right? If you can see in this snippet over here, you see int basically refers to integer. That's very simple to understand basically. Okay, because integer is one of the most common data type that we use, right? Character, integer, okay, float, data type that we use very common. So int stands for integer. Name of the variable is pin. Why it is a variable? Try to understand. We are declaring a pin, right? We are declaring a pin. So in the variable named pin, we are declaring that pin number 8 is being used over here. If int pin equal to 8, so this 8 is the value that we are storing in this variable. Try to understand. I hope you are getting my point. 8 is the value. It can be any value. It can be 9, 10,000, anything, right? Anything. If you are initializing, for example, uh, let's initialize 13. Okay, so you wrote 13. So where you are assigning this 13 value, you are basically assigning this 13 value to this variable over here, that is pin. That is why it is written, I have wrote here that variable is such a thing where you can store the value basically. Okay, understood? I hope it is clear right now. Okay, we'll be using it, so don't worry. In each and every section, in each and every chapter that we are studying, I have assigned code examples like programming examples and their output snippets also. What I have got after I have done the output, after I have got the output, I have taken the snap of it and I have attached to the slide, dear students. Okay, so in the beginning, I have told you about there was a separate session in all how to install Arduino, how to like program in Arduino, in how to you will be seeing the in the mirror section, the output section, how it looks like, okay, in real time. So if you take my code examples, each and every example is very finely curated, okay, according to your need. So what I need you to do, dear students, in each and every class, I hope you are taking notes, small notes you must be taking, okay. And after taking notes, you copy the program and run in your Arduino IDE, in your system, in your laptop or in your computer, okay. That will provide your version of view of it. Okay, you can share your doubt with us, of course. All right, I'm here to solve it. Okay, now what you can do, you can change the values, you can change the initialization, you can change the intent of the code. And if you can see, you might be getting some error, right? So then you can report that, sir, we have got this error, right? So how to solve this error, right? Troubleshooting is a very important part of programming. Yes. Okay, let us get back. This is how we need to learn basically. After seeing, just by reading all the codes will not help, okay, in case of program. So you must code by yourself. Okay, so it consists of a name, of course, we've seen it, a value, that is, for example, 8 in this case, okay, a value, and a type, okay, the data type. So it can be character, it can be integer, and float, and decimal, anything. The variables can belong to any data type, such as in the what I have said, okay, already, int, float, char, etc. Now, consider the URL Arduino data types for the detailed information. So if you go to the Arduino website, see, I have attached for external information. For extra information, you can you can search for Arduino data type. See, Google is available to you. Okay, so if you need any kind of extra information, in-depth information, you can always search here uh, by this term Arduino data types, and you'll be getting many examples. Fine. So this one is for you. Next, now we can modify the name of the variable, right, according to our choice. Okay. Now you can see I have written something called int LED pin equal to 8, right? LED pin. I have modified the name to LED pin from pin. So what we have done, we have basically modified the name. Doesn't matter, right? Doesn't. Now we can refer the declared variable further in our program or code Now, if we initialize like this, now we can work with LED pin in our further code, like inside the loop, inside the void loop. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. All right. Now see, for example, I have highlighted it, pin mode, LED pin output. Now we have declared, after declaring the LED pin as 8, we can say that the LED pin, we want it as the output, right? So basically, if we connect something, like for example, we connect a buzzer, there are small buzzers available, dear students, in market, so you can purchase it and you can use it for your indication purposes in programming, okay, in project building. Fine. So either you can use a buzzer or you can use an LED, whatever you like. Okay, I find LED and buzzer combination to be very fun actually. Okay, when I was like studying these things, when I was learning, I used to always combine LED and buzzer together and work upon that. So it becomes very fun actually to work with. Okay, so you can try it out at home. Now here the value stored 8 in the declared variable LED pin that we have declared already by changing the name will be passed to the pin mode function. Try to understand what I'm trying to say. Okay. Just don't read it out. Try to understand. See, first we have declared LED pin to be an integer data type. Okay. And we have declared the value to be 8. Fine. Done until now. Up till this one we have understood previously also. After that, what we have done. In pin mode, remember pin mode we used to declare in, remember we used to declare pin mode, right? In the void setup, we used to declare it. So pin mode, we have declared this LED pin that we have changed the variable name to, okay, as the output pin. Fine. So this value 8 is basically stored in LED pin, okay, and that is passed on to the pin mode function. Clear? Yes. So now, if we have not declared the variable, okay, the value can also be directly passed to the function. For example, pin mode 8 output. Try to understand what I'm saying over here. Try to understand very carefully. Imagine that you have not declared the value. Okay, that means this int LED pin equal to 8. This line you have not declared it. Okay, but you want to pass the value directly. Okay, so what you can do, if you have not worked with data type, declare it directly. Okay, so you can declare it directly how? By writing pin mode 8 output. So in place of LED pin to be set the value as 8, we are directly using the value 8. Okay. Now you might ask, sir, then this might be advantageous for us if we directly declare it and not take the headache to like assign the value, assign the data type earlier. But dear students, try to understand whenever you are working on the code, setting a value again and again, 8, 8, 8, writing again and again is very difficult. Why? Because it can be, the code can be interpreted by the interpreter as something different value, right? There can be some different numeric values also. So it's always advisable to declare the data type prior to using it like this directly. Okay, it's always advisable. Now you can modify it according to yourself. It's upon you, not an issue. Okay, but when I work, when I code, I definitely declare it prior to using it like this. Okay. All right. Advantages of variable. Now, this is something that you can keep in mind or you can note down. Okay. Just to keep in mind, see, what are the advantages of variable? Now, this is one of the most important thing. Why? Because the previous question that, sir, why we need to declare the variable prior to using it? Why we can't use it directly or why we shouldn't use it directly? Here is the answer. Okay. We can use a variable many times in a program, right? That's what I said just now, just a few minutes ago. I said the same thing, that we can use this variable again and again. Like for example, in this previous example, if we take LED pin, so this LED pin can be declared again and again and again in the code. Okay, no error will be caused due to this declaration. Fine. Number two, the variables can represent integers, strings, characters, etc. Whatever type we can assign, whatever. Okay, understood? Number three, it increases the flexibility of the program. Okay, how we use the code. Because I said the same thing, that using a number or using a numeric value is sometimes can give you a definite or certain type of error actually. Okay. Now we can easily modify the variable. Very nice. Yeah. See the example over here that I have provided. Okay. If we want to change the value of the variable LED pin from 8 to 13, we need to change the only point in the code. That means if you have declared LED pin, okay, and now you wish to change the value. So what we can do? Go to the void setup, right? And just replace 8 with 13. Try to understand what I'm saying. Try to understand, dear students. Imagine you have written a code. I have written. I have declared it prior to using it. Like for example, LDPN equal to 8. I have declared it. Okay. You haven't declared. You are using the value 8 directly in the whole code. Now you are asked, for example, you are working in a project and now your project requires or demands you to change the value 8 to 30, for example. Okay. What you need to do, go to the code, find 8 wherever you have written, wherever you have assigned the value, and change each of them into 30. Right? What I have to do right now, I will just go to the void setup, okay, where I have declared LED pin int LED pin equal to 8. I will remove the 8 or replace it with 13, and my whole code will run according to pin number 30. Got it? So you just need to change it once, and the whole code will act. The intent of the code will change from 8 to 30. That's the reason. Okay. Now we can specify any name for a variable. For example, green pin, blue pin, red pin, etc. Like anything you can just name it. You have to just write it pin at the end. Okay. Now try to understand. Pin is important. The name before it is not important. Okay, you can write your name also. Okay. All right. Now how we can change the value of a variable in Arduino? Okay, let us see. The value of a variable, it can be changed using the assignment operator. Okay, now what is the assignment operator? Try to understand the assignment operator is named as such because it assigns something, it assigns a value, right? One equal to sign. If we give one equal to sign, it basically is the assignment operator. Okay. Okay. Now, if we declare a variable, then only we can assign a value to it. Try to understand. If we don't declare a variable, how will we assign to it? Okay. So if we directly specify the value, for example, the example given over here, try to understand pin equal to 7. Okay. So what we are doing, we will get an error that pin has not declared. Why? Why pin has not declared? Because before assigning the value pin equal to 7, what is the pin? What is the type of the variable we are assigning it to? Pin is not a type of variable. Okay. Int can be a variable, right? Understood? So we can easily change the variables by copying its value to another variable. Okay. For example, you see int LED pin equal to 7, int pin 1 equal to LED pin equal to 13. Now try to understand what we are doing is we are jumbling up the variables. Here what we have done, the LED pin will contain the value 13 instead of 7, but value of pin 1 is still 7. So if we use pin 1 in our code, we are using the value 7. But if we use LED pin in our code, we are using the value 13. Understood? Let me get that straight for you again. Pin over here, okay, pin 1 over here is basically assigned as 7. The value given this value 7. LED pin is given the value 13. Now, each of them are assigned a value. We have declared it all together. Now, whichever we will use in our code, that value we are basically using in our code. Okay, with the equal to operator. See. Okay, the green lines, as you all know, okay, I merged it together so that like it can be in one slide basically. Okay, the output and the input. So the green lines are the command lines. Okay, so to make you understand, I have also like copied the command line from my Arduino IDE so that you understand the whole thing. The command lines will be present somewhat. When you code, you need not to give the command line. I gave it to make you understand. Okay, when you are coding by yourself, you are programming by yourself, you need not to give the command line. Okay. See, so void setup and void loop, we all know that. So void setup, as you can see, I have declared in the void loop, I haven't given anything. Okay, ignore the S over there. So it's a mistyping. So we can ignore the typo. because I don't need to run any code over here. I just need to show you what the value comes out. Okay, what the value pops out in our serial monitor. So see, in void setup, you can see I have first given the serial begin. Okay, that is the baud rate I have mentioned. In every code, I do mention the rate over there. So int pin LED equal to 7, I have assigned. Now serial.println, that is print LED. So the value 7 will be printed because I have I have given the command to print. Okay. Again, int pin1 equal to pin LED. Now pin LED, we are assigning it to be 13. Now if we print the value, that is serial.println pin LED. Okay, the value is now changed. Okay, now value 13 will be printed. Why? Because we have changed the value. As simple as that. Try to understand. First we have got 7, then we have got 13. See in the serial monitor, see in the output over here. First I have got 7, then I have got 13. Why? Because first I have printed pin LED and pin LED was assigned as 7. Then I have changed the value. How I have changed the value? I have assigned the value of pin LED to pin 1. Okay. And pin LED's value is 13. So now 13 will be printed. Okay. I hope it is clear to you. Okay. I'm just providing very easy, very simple examples for you to understand. Okay.